Hey guys, Bryan with Cajun Cardboard coming at you with another episode of That's how old I am. I can't even breathe. Old Head Hoops with Coach Pixley joining us again. We're going to talk about, we're going to give our thoughts on the All-Star game, each segment of All-Star Weekend, actually. The format, the games, the skills, the celebrities, the rising stars, all of it. We'll go through all that stuff. Then we've got some bullet point NBA stuff to talk about, and we're going to finish by talking a little bit about Luka and LeBron and their goals to coexist. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what's something we've never, I don't think really talked about ever, a college basketball player. Capture the Flag. Jonathan, we're going to play Capture the Flag. We're going to talk about Cooper Flagg and where he fits historically and what we have and haven't seen from him and what our general thoughts are on the limited amount of basketball we have seen him play. We'll kind of talk about that as well. And then any other topics that you want to bring up. The other thing is I want to screen share right here, Jonathan. We're going to do our grid at the end of this thing. We're going to do our grid right here. And just wanted to give you a heads up, right? And this is the grid on basketballreference.com where you just got to find stuff that meets the criteria for the X and the Y axis, right? So we need a Pistons player that played for the Blazers. We need 20 points per game for each franchise. We're crush that, obviously. Yep. But I think the key is to find the least chosen one, right? Like it's to find the Raptor that had 20 points per game that most people would have forgotten about. Isn't that what that is?
Yeah, because it gives you the most points. Yeah,
that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. So let's not do that yet. Let's Let's start with the All-Star weekend. Unless there's anything else we need to get out. Get it out. Yeah. What you got?
One thing I would like to start every podcast that we do from now on with you going, like lead into it. I think it's our thing.
Dude, something's wrong. I can't breathe. I can't get air. I've been coughing on. I talk fast. If I slow down, it does get better. So maybe I'm talking too much, but it's like, God, I can't get air. I'm 50 years old, not 100. I don't know what the deal is. We had an argument last night on which one of us was going to live longest. Yep. You hit me back with something about how I'm going to die first, which, is something that friends say to each other. And then I came back with, don't forget I'm younger than you. And your response was inexplicably, yes, but you're only younger in age. And I was like,
age and music selection.
Age and music selection, because for those people watching that don't know, when, I was listening to Beastie Boys or House of Pain or, Dre and Snoop in high school, you were 100% listening to Whitney Houston and Lionel Richie and Anita Baker and Belle Biv DeVoe and shit like that.
To Anita Baker, I'm not going to give you that. I'll give you all the other ones, but I don't even know who Anita Baker is, first of all. Second of all, okay, I listened to those same things you listened to. I think I was just a little more diverse. Just a little more diverse. Now,
you lied.
I'm not okaying what I did. I'm not. In fact, I'm going to just shut this down right now.
You couldn't name a Beastie Boys song right now.
Oh, I most certainly could. You want to know why? Because it was the only song I requested for my wedding. The only one.
Girls?
Brass Monkey.
Oh. Brass Monkey.
The only one.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's talk about the All-Star Game weekend. Lay it on me. Let's start with the celebrity game. Did you watch it?
Nope.
Next. I didn't either. Rising Stars.
Nope.
You didn't watch it? I didn't watch it either. And I think it mattered, right? Because the winning Rising Stars team got to play in the Final Four, blah, blah, blah. I didn't watch it. I kind of like to watch that, but I assumed that if there was going to be an incremental step forward in the amount of effort that, for whatever reason, that the actual All-Stars gave on this weekend, I assumed that the Rising Stars would there's really not as much incentive to give effort. I don't know. I didn't watch it. Do we have any idea if they tried? I assume they did not try hard.
I do not have a clue.
I don't care. Yeah. Skills competition.
Yeah, the Spurs deal was
well, let's start. Did you watch it?
No, I saw the highlights of the Spurs thing. That's all I saw.
Okay, so give me your thoughts on the Wembanyama / Chris Paul idea for those of you who did not watch the skills competition, A, congratulations, and I don't blame you.
Right.
B, I tried to give it a chance with my son, right, and watch a little bit, and I was channel flipping with some kind of probably the Avengers or something like that. Oh, no, it was The Day After Tomorrow, which is a great movie, by the way.
Good movie.
Day After Tomorrow is a really good movie. Yeah, the world freezes over.
Yep.
Anyway, for those of you who aren't familiar, there was a station in the skills competition where you had to make a three-pointer but they only had 3 balls on the rack. And if you shot it and missed it, shot it, missed it, shot it, and missed it, then you moved on to the next station and you kept going, and it was a time deal. So either Chris Paul or Victor Wembanyama, there is some disagreement about whose idea it really was. Victor Wembanyama ran up to the rack and just started throwing the balls at the rim like this. Not in a shooting form, nothing like that. It was a chest pass. 2 of them missed the goal entirely, and the last one he threw it off the backboard. And then he ran to the next station, did it again, ran to the next station, did it again.
Yep.
They disqualified them. Thoughts?
Yes. I think it is further reason. Did you see what Durant said today about canceling the All-Star game?
No, what did he say?
So he said, if everybody is as miserable as they are with this, we should just cancel the All-Star game, which I agree 100% with.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that there's a fix. So anyhow, I know we're going to talk about that, but the All-Star game is so frustrating because it used to be so awesome.
Hold on.
Now it is. Move on.
Pump the Jets, baby. We're talking about the Spurs deal.
It was ridiculous. And it was today's generation. I'm going to talk about the dunk contest in the same frame. I'm trying not to go too old school, walk 2 miles to school uphill in the snow both ways. I'm trying not to do that.
Yeah.
But it's further evidence of today's generation and what those things mean to them and how little what the fans care mean to them, So
my take on it is this. I always like the idea of finding the path of least resistance and exploiting any potential loopholes in the rules that are made, right? You play the game by the rules as they're drawn. I get the idea behind missing 3 shots in a row being quicker on average to miss 9 shots than it is to try to make a shot and take your time and shoot the ball. I get all that stuff. Why didn't he just make it look like a shot? Why didn't he just shoot 3 quick shots? Why did he have to chest pass it?
Why didn't he just shoot it?
Why didn't he just shoot it?
Yeah, just try to make it. It's the All-Star weekend.
By the way, when there's a skills competition and Evan Mobley is on the winning team, it's not a skill that matters.
No, it's not.
There's no way.
And Evan Mobley has gotten better, along with another guy we'll talk about.
Yeah.
It is not supposed to be – he is not supposed to be on the winning team for a skills competition.
Here's the deal. You want me to watch a skills competition? Here's what I suggest. I can fix the skills competition. And let me tell you how you do it. You pick the 16 best only point guards in the NBA, the 16 best point guards, and you give the winner $1 million. And you put them through a real skills competition, which what they did, it involves shooting, and I guess you got to incorporate shooting to some extent, and I haven't figured out how to solve that. I guess you got to just put as many balls on the rack as it takes for them to make a shot. Maybe that's the way you got to do it. But and you give the winner $1 million. You give second place 0.
Nope. I'm not giving anybody any money.
I'm giving them $1 million. Who gives a shit? $1 million? Who cares? $1 million is like $140 20 years ago.
Yeah, it'll be sponsorship money too, like you said.
Yeah, it's not our money.
So I would like this. Just give me the best ball handlers in the world or in the league, and let's see who can touch the ball the most times in a spider dribble in 30 seconds.
Honestly, that would have been more fun.
Way more fun.
Way more fun. Yeah, and Evan Mobley would not have been amongst the best ball handlers in the NBA. Skills, 3-point competition.
Yeah. I mean, great shooters. Hero won it. Fantastic.
What stood out? Anything stand out to you about shooting form or results or anything?
No.
Here's what stood out to me. Tyler Hero's shot, and I know he just won the 3-point competition, it looked really effed up. Dude, you need to go back and watch that. The ball's crossing center every single time. He's starting it on his left hip, and his right foot, his lead foot on his jump shot. He's a right-handed shooter. His right foot, he's literally 45 degrees to the goal. His toes are pointing 45 degrees west of the goal.
Huh.
And he missed 1 million shots to the right in the first round and barely got by. It was gross.
Yeah,
it was really
I have
bad
never
looking.
That. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Now, again, let's remember Reggie Miller is one of the best shooters of all time. His shot's disgusting.
Disgusting. Larry Bird.
Larry Bird's shot ain't great, right?
Bird.
Like at least form-wise, right? Yeah. Technique-wise. So I don't know. Nothing really stood out to me. I would have liked, if you could have picked anybody you wanted to win it, who would you have chosen to win it?
Steph.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in it.
No, but I thought you meant. Oh, you mean by who was in it?
Yeah, it was in it.
Probably Dame.
I wanted Dame to win it. Yeah, because I collect Dame's cards and I like Dame Lillard.
Hadn't he won it the last 2 years? I think he's.
Yeah, this would have been 3 in a row. I think only Craig Hodges has won 3 and Bird won 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that's right. All-Star game. Let's get to the All-Star game. Let's talk first and foremost about the format. I told you off record, right? We weren't recording when I told you. Why did anybody think that changing the format to this would make players try harder? Like, the issue was players aren't trying hard enough. People don't want to watch players do layup lines. What made people think that switching to this format would make players play harder? I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense. By the way, we're skipping the dunk contest. We're coming back to it.
Oh, my bad. Dunk contest sucked so bad. I didn't know what to say. You know what I did? I was watching it with my son. Yeah. And immediately when I saw Andre Jackson Jr.'s first dunk attempt, I switched over to Day After Tomorrow and started watching that movie.
That's good. McClung's dunks were impressive, dude. He is impressive, but
it's a shame because he's going to be a page in a novel of dunk contest history, because people are going to be like, oh yeah, do you remember when who did Mac McClung beat last year?
I don't know.
I don't either. Who did Mac McClung beat the year before that?
Don't know.
I don't either.
This year, Castle, I guess, is who he beat this year.
Castle, Buzelis, and Andre Jackson Jr.
The issue with the dunk contest is simple, and we've talked about it before. Until the big name guys get back in it, nobody's going to care. And again, like I said with the skills competition, I think it is today's generation, and LeBron has led the charge with this by not being in it. And the fact that he won't be in it because he's afraid of losing, to me, is just like what he does with everything else, where he runs to a team so he can win a title. And that is the whole thing. And I am not in any way, shape, or form saying LeBron James is not the second greatest player of all time. It's still all that. Okay. I just think that it's a microcosm of the situation today. And until a guy, like, I was hoping dude turns 40 and he's like, okay, I'll get in now just to prove a point.
That would be something.
Because if he loses, who cares? Everybody's like, he's 40. You know what I'm saying? That'd be fun, but he won't.
So not only that, but he pulled out of the All-Star game at the last second, so nobody could replace him, and everybody's lighting his ass up for that. And that is very LeBron-like. And I know it sounds like we're a hater, but like,
passive aggressive, man. Passive aggressive. Yep.
All
right, All-Star game format. The format of the All-Star game. You're 100% correct. It is not. There's nothing that they're going to do that doesn't involve money. You're right. That will change that. So do you have a specific format that you think would work? Because I heard Giannis today talking about, let's do the world versus the USA. Let's do that.
Why would they try hard then?
I don't know.
This was kind of that. Didn't Charles pick a pretty much international team?
Yeah, I think they just kind of set it up all that way, right? It was all international guys and all old heads. And,
they got together and said, we're going to draft it this way. But like, it didn't work this time. I watched it. I kind of tried to watch a little bit of it. The dunk contest, I literally turned it off when Andre Jackson Jr. missed a dunk that I could have done. Okay. That's when I turned that off. And I know I can't jump like Andre Jackson Jr., but I could try to do what he did when I was 23 years old. And probably made it. So when I saw that, I was like, Mac McClung's winning this again. And let me just say, this is not shitting on Mac McClung. He's awesome. I love it. I love that he won it. I love that he's short. I love that he's, he doesn't fit the typical demographic of a dunk contest winner. I like that he's he seems like a nice, humble kid. So I'm glad he won it. I just think it's a shame because he's going to win it in the era where no one in the world gives a damn about it because it's trash right now. The way to fix the dunk contest is to have two-man teams and each player's dunk counts, and it's a real NBA player. No offense to Mac McClung, a real NBA player, and it is a professional dunker from around the world.
I like that.
Now, the problem with that is after you see the professional dunkers dunk, you're not going to want to see Ja Morant or Zion or fill in the blank, because as great as those guys are, they ain't even in the same ballpark as these cats that dunk for a living. There are professional dunk leagues around the world, and it is like that is a whole different level of ability, right? So, but that is how you fix it, right? But I don't know if NBA players are ever humble themselves that much to go do something like that,
What about letting the fans pick the participants? Granted, then people will just fake injuries, but like, I'm just wondering about that. What do you think if you let the fans pick?
If I gave you, if you were a fan and I gave you a ballot, who are the four that you would have chosen to be in the dunk contest?
LeBron at 40. I want to see it.
Come on, dude.
I would.
Shut up.
No, I would, for sure. Oh my gosh, what's your dude in Houston? Oh my God, Green.
Oh, Jalen Green.
Yep, Jalen Green.
I mean, John Morant's got to be in it.
John Morant for sure. Great call.
Okay.
I don't know what the heck I'm thinking.
Anthony Edwards has got to be in it.
And Anthony Edwards, and then I want one more. We need 6.
Oh, we need 6.
I want 6. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't want any bigs, obviously.
You got to think of young dudes. You got to think of young dudes that are just on the up. You know, the young point guards, none of them can really, Fox in his younger years would have been awesome to watch. Malik Monk would have been great in his younger years. Maxi's not really the guy. I'm trying to think of the next, up and coming wings. Boncaro, I don't know if he can do stuff.
Chris Middleton.
Middleton, probably not. Brook Lopez.
What about Zion? Yeah. Make Zion do it.
Oh, Zion, of course. Yeah. If Zion could stretch without hurting himself and go out there. All right, let's go to the All-Star game itself. Effort. If the effort last year was a 1 out of 10, I do think that the effort this year was higher. I would say it is a 2.5 out of 10.
I was going to give it a 3. Okay. That's
really
fine.
Okay, maybe.
They crossed half court more times this year.
They made it look like they were trying, but I don't think they were really still trying. It wasn't entertaining in any way, and I turned it off. I went to sleep.
When you take the amount of open threes that they took, they weren't trying.
Okay, fair. How do you fix it? So that's the next question. Is how do you fix the All-Star game? And your answer is the big capital M. It's money, right? It's. I don't know how much money you need.
Honestly, I think you fix it by just canceling it. It's like what they did with the Pro Bowl. You just kill it. It's stupid. Okay. And the reason why it's stupid is because the guys have made it that way. So, I mean, I don't think there's a way to fix, because what's going to happen is you start paying these players to do it. It's going to piss fans off even more.
That's true. There's always a consequence to that, right? If you say, "Oh, I'm not doing it unless I get $8 trillion," well, now you pissed off already isolated fans. What about this? What if it was, the Major League Baseball tried this one season where it was American League versus National League, and the winner got home field advantage in the World Series. And everybody oh, that's a little too much.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I do too.
But is that too much? Go back to East and West, which I thought that wasn't the problem. That was never the problem. We never needed to go down this pathway of this format, that format, these teams, this draft, this, do that. We were fine with East-West. That was when the All-Star game mattered. It was East-West. So that wasn't the problem. Problem is people stopped trying. Because it didn't matter, and they're worth too much, and their personal brand is too valuable. So what if we go back to East-West, and what if we said home court advantage, in the NBA Finals is on the line?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. I love it when the baseball team did. They did it in how many years did they do it for baseball? Like
I think it was just the 1 year, and people got pissed.
Is that it?
I don't remember, man. I'll be honest, because I haven't watched a baseball All-Star game since Bo Jackson led off with a home run.
Good call. The other thing that I wish that they would stop right now are the introductions. I hate them. I'm tired of them. I'm done with it.
I'm done with it too.
Let Marvin Gaye sing the national anthem and then move on. Right?
Did you see LeAngelo Ball sing on All-Star Saturday night?
Oh, wait a minute. No.
Rap? No. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're done with the All-Star game. Anything else you want to add about All-Star weekend or anything other than cancel the whole thing?
Cancel it. That's it. Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is coming from two really faithful, ardent NBA fans who would still turn in knowing what's going to – it's like the people that just still believe Anthony Davis is going to play 77 games. Like, I just won't give up on it, right? I won't give up on Anthony Davis. He's going to have an 80-game season at some point. No, we're the people that – we're still going to tune in just in case something clicks and we like it. And, of course, every year it's the same disappointment. So we wish it was better, but it's not. It sucks. If you've got an idea and you're watching this video of how to improve it and it doesn't involve, bags and bags of money, please let us know what your thoughts are. All right, I've got some bullet point stuff we can go through. The first one is during this 72-hour hiatus from NBA basketball regular season games, your favorite player, Draymond Green, said that the Golden State Warriors will win the NBA title this season.
Definitively. He stated that, yes.
First he said, I think, and then he took it back. He's like, I'm sorry. I said, I think we will win the NBA title this season.
Where are they in the standings right now?
They are in 11th. Let's pull it up. 10th. They are in 10th. They are 1.5 games ahead of the Suns and 3.5 ahead of the Spurs. They are 28-27, which even in South Louisiana is 1 game over 500.
Barely in South Louisiana. Where are they from 6? How many games back?
From 6, they are 3.5 back of the Clippers that are in 6th. But between them and the Clippers, you've got the Timberwolves who are underperforming, and the Mavericks. Well, the Mavericks might go into a free fall now. They don't have a center.
Really might, yeah.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah. Shocking that transpired the way that it transpired. You would have never guessed it, right? Whenever they got AD. Anyhow, moving on. I think that
Golden State's in 10th.
Okay. Would you give them a better chance? First of all, do they have a better chance to make the playoffs than not make the playoffs, in your opinion?
Playoffs or play in?
Well, let's say they're in the – regardless, they end up in the playoffs, out of the play-in, whatever.
50-50. If you said, hey, Bryan, do you think they're more likely to get in the final 8, whether it's through play-in or just earning it and getting to that 6th seed, or be out of that final 8? And you told me that Steph Curry was going to play every game, Draymond was going to play every game, and Butler was going to play every game. I would say they are very likely to get in that final 8. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't believe those 3, guys are going to play every game in the second half of this season.
I don't care if Draymond plays or not. I mean, I know he matters. He does. Okay, but how many games is left in the season? 30?
They played 55 games, so 27 left.
27. Okay. I would say that they are. Yeah, I would say that they are less likely to make it than to make it.
So you don't think that they're going to win the NBA title?
Which would mean if they don't make the playoffs, I don't see a path for them to win the title.
Somehow they can't win the title if they don't make the playoffs. Let me ask you a question. Who is the center for Golden State?
Is it not Looney?
Looney doesn't play. He's not in their. I mean, he might be in their rotation, but I don't think he's in their 8-man rotation.
What's the rookie? Don't they have a rookie?
They have a white dude named Quentin Post.
Oh,
and then they have a second-year dude named Trace Jackson Davis.
That's the guy I was thinking about.
Okay. Yeah, he's the Wendell Carter Jr. of the West. Which is really, I don't even know what that means. So I just don't see it because right now when I look at their depth chart on Basketball Monster, Draymond Green's their center. He's 6'7".
Yeah.
And can't jump.
Or play.
And guess who their power forward is?
It's got to be Kuminga.
No, it's Jimmy Butler.
Oh, that's true because
Jimmy Butler is their power forward. So you're talking about the smallest team in the NBA. Wow. I think the smallest team in the NBA. It's Steph Curry, Podziemski, Moody, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green is their projected starters.
Kuminga still doesn't start for them?
Mm-mm.
Man, that really hadn't worked out like everybody thought it would.
No, he is not the next one. He is not the next one. All right, so we both agree. We don't think Golden State they have a better chance of missing the playoffs than winning the title for sure. Next, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to get your thoughts on them post-trade. That if you asked me a year ago, hey, DeAndre Hunter's going to the Cavs, I would have said, I don't care. And then I looked at his numbers and what he's doing this year. He has taken a step forward this year. I think he's shooting right at 40% from 3. And we know he's a good, versatile defender and a big-ass body at that small forward/wing position. He can guard 2, 3, 4. I don't think he can guard 5 or 1, but he can guard 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And he's basically replacing Karis LeVert as their best wing.
Yep.
I mean, Max Strus is there, but really, and Dean Wade's there, but really, he's now that wing. That was the weak point for the Cavs was that wing scorer/defender. You had to have one or the other. You had to have that Dorian Finney-Smith / DeAndre Hunter / whatever you want to call that position, Amen Thompson, I don't know, whatever that versatile wing guy is, and now they got it. This is an upgrade over Karis LeVert, yes, because of the defensive side?
Yeah, for sure, and his size too. And he's a 3.5 is what I call him, right?
That's it.
That's where he is, and he is having a heck of a year. The question I have for you is, if you had to bet your life on it, who wins the 7-game series between them and New York?
Celtics. Oh, New York, 50-50. And I know what happened last year. I'll say 50-50.
Pick. You have to pick.
Well, I'll go with the Cavs. They're going to have home court advantage, are they not?
Yeah, I mean, they are.
I mean, the Cavs are 8 games ahead of the Knicks, so I don't see any scenario where the Knicks have home court advantage. I'm taking the Cavs now.
Who's the best player in that series?
Huh?
Who's the best player in that series?
Well, you're basing this on what happened in years prior.
No. I'm talking about right now.
I think Donovan Mitchell's the best player in that series, and you think
he's
Brunson?
better than you think he's better than Cat also?
I do,
which is hard for me to say, as you well know.
Oh, I know it's hard for you to say. I'm surprised you even said his name.
Yeah, because Cat is
I do believe
MVP guy right now. I think.
I know you're a big who's got the best player on in a playoff series, and I know you place a great deal of importance on that, but if we look at, I just think they fit really well together, man. I just think, and the record is indicative of that. And I know regular season is not playoffs, but man, they fit so well together. And now, you don't have to have Mobley and Jarrett Allen on the court to finish games. You can finish with DeAndre Hunter at the 4. If the Knicks go with Josh Hart at the 4 or some munchkin like that, and they try to spread you. I mean, now you got DeAndre Hunter guarding Josh Hart instead of Mobley or Allen.
I still do not look at the Cavs.
It's hard. They haven't done it yet.
As a nasty dog team, and the Knicks have nothing but that.
I know.
Besides Cat, but he is averaging 14 rebounds a game. So,
but Anunoby is Anunoby done? Where are we at in the Anunoby?
That's a good question. He's got to be in the mix.
He really matters, man.
Yeah, he does.
And he's a big reason. Yeah. He's a big reason they're 8 games behind the Knicks right now. Anunoby is questionable right foot strain, status for next game not specified yet. So maybe he's on his way back. Maybe he's close. And I saw that injury when it happened. Don't ask me why I was watching a Knicks game, but I was. 2 of the best starting 5s in the NBA.
I think you could really argue this. I agree with that, first of all, and this is tough for me to say, I think, because maybe I'm not thinking my way all the way through, but 2 through 5 belong to the Knicks.
No way.
No, I'm saying like the second best player for the Knicks is better than the second best player for the Cavs. Third is best in the third, fourth best in the fourth, fifth.
Oh, I see what you mean. You don't mean the second, third, fourth, and fifth best player in the series. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, and you could even argue 1 through 5. I mean, you could.
You could.
Brunson versus Mitchell. I mean, it's a toss up. Whatever. Cat versus Mitchell. It's a toss up. Yep. But then after that, I do think there's a drop off. As much as Mobley has improved, I don't think Mobley. Right. Or Garland. And Garland's had a really good season, dude.
Jarrett Allen's had a really good year too, man.
Jarrett Allen's really good. He does what you need. Yeah, but there's more to it, man. It's how you fit together. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, it's how you fit together. I mean, you can go back to those Bulls teams, and look at the second best player on those Bulls teams. Sometimes Pippen might not have been the second best player on the court. I mean, Pippen's not better than Stockton. I don't know. Was he? I don't know.
Probably not. I mean,
I don't know.
Regardless, though, you're right. I mean,
there's more to it. But anyway, all right. So Cavs, I think I was considering more Cavs versus Celtics, and you're worried about Cavs even getting to the Celtics. The one thing we know is the Cavs are going to have home court advantage because they are 8 games ahead of the Knicks, and the Celtics have been pissing around. They're 5.5 back. They ain't catching them in 27 games.
No, they're not. But I think in a series, again, everybody healthy on both teams, I'd pick New York.
Okay. Then you definitely pick the Celtics.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So, and we're going to get to that at the end before we take off.
Yep.
Okay. The NBA game. The NBA game in general. You hear a lot of people bitching about how they don't like it. They don't watch it, this, that, whatever. Just generally, let's just bounce it back and forth and kind of talk about the current state of how NBA basketball is played. And I guess when people say this, they think of the proliferation of three-point shooting, right? And how analytics has changed the game, and the hyper-technical statistics which dictate coaches telling players what is and isn't a permissible and what is and isn't a good shot and what they're trying to get out of running offense, right? And right now, open threes are the answer, and sometimes not even open threes, just threes.
Yep.
Thoughts on the NBA game, and A, is it a problem? And B, if it is a problem, how do you fix it?
So I was listening to a podcast the other day, and one of the guys on the podcast, I'm sure you listened to it as well, is talking about you're crazy if you don't think that today's game is more aesthetically pleasing than what was happening back in the 90s. You're just remembering back to the 90s and thinking of Michael Jordan and the other guys in that era. And if you think a mid-range jumper is more fun to watch than a three, then what are you thinking, right? I get that there is that argument, okay? But the problem is there's so little diversity in today's game. That's the issue. And you just don't see different stuff, right? I mean, it's literally penetrate kick, high ball screen, a lot of uncontested stuff at the rim because of how spacing works. And I think that basically everybody runs the same stuff. Like you're not watching somebody run the triangle or somebody run the Princeton offense or somebody run, nonstop pick and roll action like Utah ran. And look, if you go back and watch, I'm not talking about the 80s, because you go back and watch the 80s and you go back and watch a Lakers Celtics NBA Finals, and Dennis Johnson is shooting 15-footers with dudes 5 feet off of him.
4 feet away, right? I know.
Okay,
I went back and I watched it. I was like, God.
It's absurd, okay?
Yeah.
But like when you get into the Jordan era and beyond, and the scores are, 84-80 in the finals, okay? I mean, I guess it just comes down to what kind of fan you are. Like, would you rather watch, a pitcher throw a 2-hitter and the other pitcher throw a 4-hitter and give up 1 earned run? Or would you rather watch a lot of offense, right? The problem is it's all offense right now. There's no diversity, like I said.
Defenders do not have a chance.
No.
How do you fix it?
You let them put their hands on people.
That's it.
Yep.
There's a couple of directions you can go. You can make the defense stronger, or you can make it more difficult for the offense, right?
Yep.
And those things are mutually, those are not synonymous. Those are mutual. Those can be mutually exclusive.
Yep.
What I mean by is, if you make the defense stronger, just let me put my hands on the ball handler on the perimeter.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
And when I say make it harder to play offense, that's when we start talking about moving the line back, which means you can't take away the corner three, because then there'll be no spacing. That's the only thing that creates spacing in the NBA, because these dudes are humongous. Yep. And the only reason the court is spaced at all is because that corner three is so effective, right? Anybody can shoot that. It's a much closer shot because it's not equidistant. So you would have to make the court wider. Now, if you make that court wider, now you're really going to see offense take the forefront, and defense is not going to have any chance.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that. I just want to make it. I want to give the defense a chance. Like,
what if you made 3-pointers? Listen, I know this is going to sound crazy. I've never heard anybody suggest this. So this is a Cajun special. Are you ready for this?
Okay, I'm in.
What if you made 3-pointers worth 2.5?
Yeah, that's.
Think about it, dude. Think about it.
Who cares?
Just think about what that would do. You don't change the game at all. You don't change the way the floor is laid out. You don't change the rules. The only thing you change is that 3-pointers are now worth 2.5.
So a lot less of them are taken. Right. I get it.
Well, it alters your analytics. It does. It increases the value of layups and middies, right?
Yeah.
Do
you miss post-up basketball?
It's been so long since I've seen teams. Dude, we see it, right? Sometimes they get it, but in the mid-post usually. But yeah, it's been so long since I've seen it. I don't even remember if it was better to watch. I don't have nearly as much a problem. I don't have as much of a problem as everybody else does with the current brand of basketball. And maybe it's just because I'm naive and I love the NBA so much that I'm willing to look past some of the warts. I mean, no sports are perfect. I mean, baseball went through this forever. Football went through it to the tune where now they don't even run the ball. They run it as a surprise. It's a surprise we're running it, where when football started, it was surprise we're throwing something called a forward pass, right? Yep. So football is 100% passing. It's really it's almost like parallel tracks. Football becoming a absurd passing game. Why? Because defensive backs can't touch receivers. Right. And receivers know where they're going, and defenders don't.
Oh,
that's exactly what basketball is.
And linebackers are as fast as running backs too, so that hurts things.
Well, right, but you would think that if you went away from the Levon Kirklands, you like that, and the 260-pound linebackers, right, to 225-pound linebackers that can cover receivers and tight ends, you would think teams would adjust and say, 225, try to tackle this 240-pound running back. But we haven't seen that in football.
True.
In basketball, the Cavs are the team that's got 2 7-footers. There's not very many out there that play consistently together, 2 true 7-foot tall dudes, and that's what the Cavs are trying to do.
Yeah.
And I posed that question the other day. When's the last time you saw a team with 2 7-footers? And I couldn't think of any, but the bubble Lakers, Anthony Davis pretty much is a true 7-footer. And then they had Dwight Howard at the time.
Yeah. I think it's also, for us old heads, we remember the past a little too fondly at times, right? So
I'll admit it.
Like you think about watching post-up basketball, the reason why I asked you this, there was very little more miserable to me than to watch Charles Barkley grab the ball and take 17 dribbles backing in. The team that actually exploited it the most was the Rockets.
Yeah.
Okay? And with Olajuwon. But if you go back and watch those games, dude, there were 4 guys just standing, just watching him work and then waiting on a double team. And that was it. And it was super simple. But, they similar with Shaq, but they ran the triangle sort of, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you'd rather. Look, we grew up obviously as shooters, and so we're shooting threes all the time. So if you'd have told us back then, hey, 20, 25 years from now, 30 years from now, all people are going to do is shoot threes. We'd be like,
somebody's going to take 19 threes in a game, 20 threes in a game, attempt 20 threes in a game.
Yeah.
You're nuts.
Yep. I did that, but anyhow, that was, You ever take 20 threes in a game?
Me?
Yeah.
Never.
Pickup game? Yeah. I took 19 in a college game one time.
You took 19 threes in a college game 30 years ago?
Yeah, I did. I made 10, 9 or 10. Yeah. Well, so that's a decent percentage.
You can't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Did you win the game? Did you win the game?
We lost that freaking game.
You know what that tells me? That tells me you had a 6'7", super athletic, long wingspan black guy guarding you, and you were like, you know what, excuse my language.
Dude,
I'm gonna back up and get these threes off. I ain't messing with that. I'm not gonna
in that game. Listen to this. You'll love this stat line. I made 9 threes. I made 10 free throws, and I had 39 or 40 points in that game. So you do the math.
Okay, Tim Legler. I know what you were doing.
That is 1 2-point field goal.
I know what you were doing, Kyle Korver. You had a long athletic.
Kyle Korver didn't make 10 free throws in a season. Okay, first of all.
You were the DeAndre Ayton of your college team, getting all those free throw attempts. All right. We talked about that. It's funny because I heard him talking about this on a podcast the other day. Is like, I think it was Russillo and Legler actually. It's a 2-on-1 break. And you've got a defender, and he's standing waiting at the top of the key, and you've got a guy with the ball, and then you got a guy on a wing. And we were always taught. You remember the drill? Our favorite drill in high school. What was our favorite drill? 3-on-2, 2-on-1.
Always.
Right. It was a drill where it was 3-on-2 this way. Whoever shot the ball has to get back, and then it's a 2-on-1 coming back. The defenders take the ball, and we were always taught you keep the ball until the defense stops you, and if they don't commit to you, then you shoot a layup or shoot an 8-4-footer or whatever. Yeah. And if they do commit to you, you simply make the pass, and your offensive teammate shoots a layup or a 4-footer or whatever.
Right.
And now when the offensive player has the ball coming down the middle of the court, he dribbles to the top of the key, but that teammate is not V-cutting or diagonaling 45-degree angle to the block to shoot a layup so you can dump a pass off. He's flaring out to the wing or to the corner for an open three-pointer.
Yeah.
And that's just a whole different ball game because we were never taught that. And I wonder if one thing analytics doesn't take into account is, when you're shooting open threes versus layups, if the analytics say shoot the open three, that's one thing. But what thing analytics can't take into account is, Jonathan, are you more likely to make your next three-pointer if you've missed 3 in a row?
No, of course not.
Are you more likely to make your three-pointer if you've got 3 consecutive made layups?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So the analytics don't take into account the human psyche and
Correct.
the confidence factor and the comfort level and the feeling that an offensive player has of certainty that this is my shot to make or miss
Yep.
because I've just scored 6 consecutive points on 3 made easy 2-point field goals.
Yep.
That's what they talk about growing into the game. They talk about that in soccer a lot as well. Grow into the game, right? As the game goes on, you become more confident, the more success you have. And so I don't think analytics takes into account the human aspect of growing confidence from making easy 2-point field goals.
Seeing it go in the basket, making a free throw, by the way, helps.
That's it.
All those things. Yep.
That's it.
No doubt.
It's the same for all sports. It's the same for tennis, right?
Yep.
If you're getting your first serve in at a 60% clip, for 2 straight sets, you're going to feel more comfortable with your first serve. If you're double faulting all over the place, your mind's in a bad way, right? You're in a bad place. Golf, tennis, all that stuff. All right. Cooper Flagg, how much have you seen? We don't watch college basketball. We don't necessarily think it's a very good product anymore.
Yeah.
For various reasons.
I'm watching. When he's on, I'm watching.
When he's on, I'm watching as well. Well, I don't go seek it out, but if I'm flipping and I see Duke is playing,
correct.
Let's just say this. There's only 2 teams that I would stop and watch play college basketball right now.
Yeah.
And I know everybody's like, oh, SEC, Auburn, this. No. I've watched Auburn. That's boring as hell. I don't see any franchise dudes in the NBA. I am watching Duke, and I would like to watch Rutgers because they have 2 guys that have been mentioned, Ace Bailey, and then the Harper guy, I think, is the other guy. They have 2 guys that are going to be very high lottery picks, if not second and third.
Yep.
And I think there's a kid from Baylor, VJ Edgecombe or something like that, that's supposed to be really good as well. But Cooper Flagg is must-see TV. I watch Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Cooper Flagg and how much have you watched?
A good bit. I don't know if I've seen an entire game of him yet, but I've seen significant chunks of probably 7 to 8 games already with him.
Me too. That's about where I'm at.
When I watched him at the beginning of the year, and everybody was dogging him out. Oh, they're putting the ball in his hands. He's not a creator. He's turning the ball over at the end of the game. I'm like, yeah, he's 17 years old. So let's see what happens.
You reclassified forward, right?
Yeah. And so sure enough, now we've gotten towards the end of the season, and he's not your prototypical, put him at the top of the circle and let me just go make something happen for whoever. But he's gotten a lot better at it. And what he is a great teammate, a high energy dude. He has every skill that you need to have. I'm not saying he's great at all of them, but he has them all. Okay. And he is an elite athlete. So
guess what Cooper Flagg, how tall is he?
6'9".
6'9". Guess how much they list him at on ESPN's website?
Weight? 200. What?
205. How much Cooper Flagg is 17 years old, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and we saw it with Kevin Durant. We've seen it over and over, right? We see it with everybody who comes in the league thin, except John Morant, who will not lift a weight or eat a sandwich. No. But we see it with guys, how different their game looks. We're seeing it with Mobley right now. We saw it with Anthony Davis, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing it with all these guys that are wiry and long. You see the potential, and then they've got to, Zion's the exception. He's got to go the other way, right? But Cooper Flagg's 205 right now. When Cooper Flagg is 23 years old, let's say he's 23 years old and he's just signed his second contract because his rookie contract will be over in 4 years. How much is Cooper Flagg? First of all, he might be 6'11", right? I mean, he could be.
If he gets
how much is he going to weigh? How much is Cooper Flagg going to weigh?
Let's say he gets to 6'10". I think he weighs 230 to 235. And I think, he's the first guy I've seen come out of college in a while, and I'd have to go back and think because I know, Luka and Trey and those guys, but Luka wasn't in college, that I'm like, this dude's definitely going to be an all-star if he stays healthy. I don't see any way where he's not an all-star, right? Is he a franchise guy? That is my question, right? And I think he might be, man. I really
no question about that. There's no question about
really
that. I think he's a franchise guy just the way he carries himself.
Yep.
I know you don't ever want to base anything on college statistics, right? Because we saw Christian Laettner was an all-star. We've seen guys in college. Beasley was a great college player. We've seen great college play. Zach Edey was a great college player. At no point did I think Zach Edey is going to be an NBA all-star.
Right.
I'm on record. He's going to be exactly what we're seeing, which is dude's just too slow to do anything, right?
Yeah.
It's not that Cooper Flagg's 20 points, 7.7 rebounds, 4 assists. That's great. It's not, it's how he does it in the little subtle, things that we see him doing at 205 pounds. The game is going to be so easy for him when he's 235.
Right.
He's left hand, he's right hand, his footwork, his shot isn't perfect from a technique standpoint yet. It's a little long. It's a little slow, like a long start to finish. They'll speed that up in the NBA. That's where he'll really figure that out. Dude, I think he can be – I'm trying to think of the best NBA comp to him right now because he's not elite athletically horizontally. He's bouncy now. He's bouncy vertically, 1 foot, okay 2 foot, but very bouncy 1 foot for sure. But I don't think he's elite laterally because he does have a little bit of a high center of gravity. Is he like a Tatum?
No, he's much more athletic than Tatum. And Tatum, and you're wrong about Cooper Flagg off 2 feet. He is elite.
You think he's elite athletically off 2?
Elite bouncy, yeah.
Okay.
And I understand laterally he's not fantastic yet because, again, he's got to have a muscle in his body at some point, right?
Yeah.
But he's not stiff. That's why he's
not stiff.
That's why
he's polished the way he moves, and he
fluid. He's loose, right? Tatum is not. I don't see. Let's just put it this way: when Cooper Flagg's body looks anywhere close to what Jason Tatum's body looks like right now, he will get his shot off a lot more easily than Jason Tatum does.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's improved.
He has, no doubt, and he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I just think from the ease of the game for him, I think he's Tatum's stiff, dude. He still is stiff. You know that. I mean, it's what it is. But yeah, no, I'm look. I like the kid a lot. I love the little things. I'm gonna be a basketball nerd right now, but I love watching a guy drive left from the right hand wing, not pick it up with both hands, just off the bounce, throw a left hand chest pass to a shooter in the corner on target, and be able to look off when you do it. Like at 6'9", 6'10", you're doing that already, and you're 17, 18 years old, and you got that feel for it already. I mean, that's elite stuff.
Dude. You're talking about basketball stuff. How about just human being stuff? I'm watching somebody who really, really cares about playing on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Like I don't think anybody thought he was going to be a defensive force. He's a really good defender.
Yep.
He's got something, man. He's got the it factor for sure. Yep. I think you're looking at an NBA franchise player and an all NBA player for sure.
I love it.
I don't think that's I don't think that's outrageous. I think a lot of people probably share our opinion, but I'm really, really high on him as an NBA player. What about the league? We got 27 or 28 games left, depending on who your team is. 53. Some people have 29. So 27, 28, or 29 games left. And we've got, let me share the NBA standings. We'll go through this quick because we got to do our immaculate grid. We're going to fill this grid out. Don't forget.
Dude, you're leaving something very important out right now.
Oh, of what?
I mean, arguably the biggest trade in the history of professional sports. We
can't talk about that. I've talked about. I did a whole video on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a video on that without you.
Okay.
I felt a lot better about that trade when Mark Williams was going to be their center. I don't feel quite as good about it with Jackson Hayes. Right now, obviously, it's a grand slam home run long term. Grand slam home run. Let me just pose this question. 100%, if you got 100% to work with, what is the percentage that the Lakers come out of the West?
$10.
Come out of the West. First place in the West. Okay.
10. I'm taking into account the fact that they could have 2 of the 3 best players on the floor every single game.
Dude, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. There's just
the best player. And the best player.
But 99% of the games, they're going to have the 3 worst defensive players on the floor.
I'm with you. I'm 100%.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal in the playoffs, man.
I get it. I do. You're right.
Okay.
It's tough. Hey, by the way, did you know that Mark Williams' wingspan was longer than Wembanyama's?
Yes. He's 9'9". 9'9".
That's unbelievable, dude.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's 4 inches shorter or whatever, right?
Yeah, he's like
5 inches
6'11".
shorter, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
All right, the Cavs are 5.5 up in the East. The Thunder are 8 up in the West. Thunder's winning the West. Their regular season, they're winning the West. They're the number 1 seed. After that, all hell breaks loose. I could see the Lakers being second. I could really see the Nuggets being second because they're starting to click a little bit. Surprised the Nuggets didn't do anything at the trade deadline unless there's something I'm not thinking of. I think they just really held pat. Jamal Murray's playing better. It looks like he's healthy. Everything's going to be fine. He's really putting up numbers now. It's the same team that won it 2 years ago, except they don't have, the most important player in the NBA, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. No Nuggets team in the last 40 years has won it without Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Did you know that? The Grizzlies are starting to mean business. I do think that the Rockets are going to just haven't been there and done that, dude.
That's right.
I just feel like they're the OKC Thunder, but a year and a half to 2 years behind.
Yeah.
I just can't see it. I just don't know who the guy is at the end of the game to give the ball to. It's not Fred Van Fatty. It's not, nut job, Dylan Brooks. Jalen Green, I don't trust his basketball IQ, his acumen.
Thank you.
I'm just saying maybe one day, but not yet. And he also weighs 165 pounds.
Maybe.
So at Clippers, what are they doing with that smoke and mirrors?
Dude, if you pick, and I know this is a huge if, Kawhi's healthy for an entire series, who wins that between them and the Rockets?
Kawhi Leonard is playing every game in a series, and he's playing 35 minutes?
And he's playing 35 minutes, and he's Kawhi Leonard, which he has been for both games that he's played this year. But
I think the Clippers are winning that series.
Okay. What about them and the Lakers?
I also think that's preposterous.
I agree. I'm just asking. Okay. I 100% agree.
Okay.
What about them and the Lakers?
I don't know. You talk about star. Can you imagine Kawhi, Harden, LeBron, and Luka on the same court? They got to match up with each other.
Yeah.
They got to match up with each other.
Only one of them plays defense. That's the best part.
Only one of those dudes on that list plays any inkling of defense. Holy crap. Dude, these Western Conference playoffs are going to be freaking awesome. And the East is going to be great, too, in the Final Four, I think. I think that they're going to be great. All right, we can talk about this forever. We still got to do our game. So, Luka, LeBron, they don't have a center. Who's coming out of the West right now?
Denver.
Gun to your head. Who's coming out of the West?
Denver.
Gun to your head. What?
I'm just joking. I wanted to make you stop.
Okay. I was about to say.
I would say OKC's coming out.
Okay, I was already scrolling. There is a scenario where you give Denver what % chance? The second best chance.
Yeah, I'll give them 20, percent.
Really, that low?
Yeah, I'm not giving them that high. I mean, OKC's a real deal.
Who's coming out of the East?
Boston.
Who's more likely to win their conference, the Celtics or the Thunder?
The Celtics.
And which conference is harder?
The East.
And if you switch the Celtics and the Thunder, would those still be your two teams that you'd pick in the finals?
Oh, boy.
If you switched them East and West, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say OKC's East.
I know.
Well, OKC in the East, you're clearly picking OKC.
No, that's the one I was thinking about. And here's why. Just hear me out for a second, okay?
That means you think the Cavs and the Knicks are better than the Nuggets and the Lakers.
I don't think the Cavs are. I think the Knicks might be. And here's what I'm thinking, man. Just hear me out.
When did you fall in love with the Karl Anthony Towns-led Knicks? What the hell is happening on this podcast?
I'm all about Anunoby and Bridges defensively on the wings. All about it. And I think it matters. And I think that when you take the Thunder into account, their second best player is Jalen Williams. Yes, or is it Chet?
It's not really about who their second best player is. It's about their best 8 players. They're ridiculous.
No, it matters because Jalen Williams has not had a good playoff series yet.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not saying he's not going to do it this year. Okay. I'm just saying if you can take him out of it for the most part, it matters. You take him out of the situation. You put Denver and them in a series, and you take Jalen Williams out of the equation. Okay. And you make it a Murray and Jokic versus SGA thing. That's an issue, man. It's an issue.
It's an issue.
Because some other dudes aren't going to score. You know this. The others that Shaq always calls them, right? The others. They don't win playoff series. They don't. So,
unless you're Norman Powell playing against the Bucks every year, then those guys do win playoff series.
That's fair. That's a fair.
All right, I'm OKC and the Celtics easily.
Me too.
That hasn't changed the whole season. So that's what I am. So,
who wins that?
Celtics.
In how many?
I guess they got to win it in 6 unless they're going to go to OKC and win it. What's the name of Oklahoma City's arena?
The Kevin Durant Brook arena.
The Nick Collison Square Garden. All right, let's play our game here. Let's play our game.
Let's do it. I'm in.
All right, I got it all pulled up. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's talk through this. Celtics and Blazers. I got to go a la Abdel Nabi.
Oh, you're going. That's right. That's true. You got to go least, right? Because I was going to say Bill Walton, but yeah, okay. Yeah,
he did play for both.
He played for Boston. Oh yeah, he did. Yep, nice. Oh, that's nice.
Who on earth would have got a la Abdel Nabi?
I would not have, because I was going. You're right. I was going the wrong direction with it.
Celtics and Golden State Warriors. How about Dennis Schroeder? Didn't he play for the Celtics for a hot minute?
I do not know the answer to that question. I do know. Wow, man, this is tough. I want to go back in time here, figure that out.
How about 20 points per game?
Robert Parrish. Well, Robert Parrish is a big name. Never mind.
No, I don't think people would know that Parrish played for the Warriors.
Well, he definitely did. So
because they're not as old as us.
That's right. That's a good point.
20%. That's okay. We'll take that.
Yeah.
I am curious though if Toronto Raptors and Boston Celtics. This is tough.
Toronto Raptors and Boston Celtics. So
this is tough.
That's really tough. D. Brown? Did D. Brown play for the Raptors?
We've got some guesses. You want to put it in?
It's up to you. We can think a little bit harder if you like.
Dude, you did it. You're a legend.
That was nice.
It's not Al Abdel Nabi, but it's damn good. What about, let's go 20 points per game for the Blazers.
Okay, are we trying to go, like guys that you wouldn't expect? Because C.J. McCollum did it a bunch of times.
What do you think about Buck Williams?
He never did. Not for Portland.
He was a 20-point scorer somewhere, no?
New Jersey, but not
that where it was?
Yeah, not with Portland.
What about Maurice Lucas? He didn't.
Nope, not with Portland.
What about
you can go
Anthony Simons has done it.
Hey, I got one for you. I got a good one. You want to go Calvin Nat?
Let's do it. You sure about this?
Calvin Nat. Let's go.
0.1%. That's when you. That is Andre Drummond, by the way. That's Andre Drummond's dad. Warriors 20 points per game.
Okay,
not Kuminga. Not Kuminga, baby.
No, we can't do that.
How about this? How about we can go Spreewell, but can we also didn't Arenas do it there?
No, he did not.
You're sure he didn't?
Positive he didn't. Hold on, man. Give me a second, because we can go back a little bit here on some of these. I
mean, we can go way back. We can go back to your boy, the best big man in Warriors history. Why'd I go blank?
Nate Thurman?
Yeah, Nate Thurman.
I don't know. I don't think he ever averaged 20, dude. I don't think
that's preposterous. You don't think Nate Thurman averaged? We got to guess that.
I'm not sure he ever averaged 20. He did. Okay.
I'm clutch. That's 0.8.
That's nice.
Raptors 20 points per game.
Hey, did Damon Stoudemire ever average 20 for the Raptors?
Easily. 3%. Dude, we're killing this.
We are
literally going to have one of the greatest scores ever, but we got to figure out which. We got to go quick on this, but I don't know on these. Pistons and Warriors.
Pistons. Well, let's go Pistons, Blazers. Pistons, Blazers.
Did Bogdanovich, the big one, he never played for the Blazers?
He did not.
God, this is going to suck.
No, it's not. Hang on. We're going to get it. John Long did not play for the Blazers.
Pistons. Warriors.
Kelly Tripucka did not play for the Blazers.
Did Tripucka play for the Warriors, the Raptors? No. Raptors.
This is tough right here. Holy crap.
You know what's bad is that Dennis Schroeder, he hasn't played a game yet for the Pistons, but he got traded from the Warriors to the Pistons.
Okay.
Do you think they'll give us credit?
Dude, that's nice if you pull that off.
I don't know if they're going to give us credit for that.
That's tough.
I wonder if there's people screaming at their screen right now that can think of guys that played for the Blazers and the Pistons.
If you can, scream louder.
Yeah, if you can, scream louder. Got it. Schroeder.
I wonder if Kent Benson played for the Blazers at some point in time.
Jeez, this is like next
if I
level
pull
shit.
This off. Yeah, no. I didn't think so. Damn it. Oh, shit.
We have one guess left. This is a good score, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good score. Got to keep in mind the Raptors hadn't been around that long, so
tap on a logo or category for help.
I wonder if Mo Pete played for both. Remember Mo Pete?
Yeah. Did he play for the Pistons?
I don't know if he ever played for Detroit, though. That's the only problem.
Let's go. Let's see what we can do. Rarity score. What does that mean?
That's our 238 added up. That's a high score, dude. Oh my God, that's a high score.
Look at our scores.
Oh my gosh, I want to know what the answers to are the two that we missed.
The average score is 6, and we scored 238.
I love it.
That can't be right.
I'm telling you, dude, because people put in the most obvious answers. I want to know
238.
I want to know what those
rarity score is calculated as the sum of the percentages for each cell you get correct, plus 100 for each empty cell. A lower score means your answers are more rare.
That's not true.
Oh, I think that just means people cheat and they look it up, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, well. Anyhow.
Yeah. Oh, well. Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's our score. I don't know. Somebody tell us if that's good or bad. I have no idea. That's it. We're over an hour here.
Yep.
And we got to come up with another topic. If you guys watching like Old Head Hoops, let us know in the comments. If you want us to do another one, let us know. We're going to do it either way. But if you've got any ideas for future topics, we love talking about the current NBA. We watch a lot of it. And anything you guys can think of, let us know. Jonathan, anything else we got to say or do before we take off?
Let's get out of here and go Bucks.
Go Bucks. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.